This is Southern Cross News with Abbey Donaldson.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. In an Australian first, the Eyre Peninsula will be home to a new rocket launcher to send satellites into space. Construction at the chosen launch site of Whalers Way, just south of Port Lincoln, is expected to begin next year. Casey Treloar has the details. Two Port Pirie residents are lucky to be alive after a fire tore through their house in Risdon Park. The Dowling Street property was completely destroyed by the blaze. Prime Minister Scott Morrison labelled Whyalla as a city with a future during his flying visit to the Steel City today. It's as billionaire industrialist Sanjeev Gupta and the Whyalla Council unveiled major plans to revitalise the steel industry and the city itself. Well, it's an early Christmas present for some as petrol prices have plunged across the state, but for Port Augusta motorists, they've been left fuming at the consistently high prices in the town. Tonight on Southern Cross News, 3 inmates have tried to escape from the Broken Hill jail but failed to make it over the fence. Correctional services and local police locked down the area surrounding the prison, leaving the would-be escapees with nowhere to run. Welcome back. Port Pirie's Aquatic and Leisure Centre is ready to make a splash with its doors opening to the public today. Part of the town's $24 million sports hub, the facility also features a gymnastics area and the celebrated return of the Port Pirie Squash Club. Yes, we are Fraser, and that's all thanks to this cold front hitting the state. And despite some wintry and wet weather, it's expected to fine up for next week. I'll have all the details next. And we're in for some scorching conditions for the last day of October. Port Augusta, 39 the top for you tomorrow. Broken Hill and Port Pirie warming up to 36 degrees. And in the weather, some absolutely gorgeous conditions forecast for the Gulf this weekend. I'll have all the local weather details next. Port Augusta's Army Warren Media has welcomed the launch of a new online platform aimed at preserving the language and culture of the First Nations people. A Whyalla Youth Arts Group has won a State Theatre Award for a project focusing on extraterrestrial life. A Sterling North firefighter is back on home soil after a stint in the US helping fight the Californian bushfires. Quick news now. A father and his 2 sons have died in the New South Wales outback town of Broken Hill after reportedly being overcome by toxic fumes. Canberra artist Eden Ward died from a single gunshot wound to his chest at this block of flats in Watson. The countdown is on for the Socceroos' do-or-die World Cup clash with Peru. Blue Wiggle Anthony Field now knows the dangers of putting your head first. Quick news now. Ride operators are expected to give evidence today in the inquest into the Dreamworld tragedy which claimed 4 lives. The Viterra silo has been transformed into a vibrant forest landscape and is already catching the eye of tourists. And that's all the local news this Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Abbey Donaldson. Good night.